Mrs. Me Paints.
Hello, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be sharing my experience of painting orchids in a glass vase. I'll start by saying this experience threw me for a loop. And in this loop, there consists of a lot of huhs and hmms and ohs, as this particular painting experience represents a turning point in my own perspective and painting venture. It's a nod of sorts, a wink and a nod, to the time I realized just how much I love painting things as they are. Since painting these orchids, I've been aware of how excited I am by the prospect of attempting to paint the regular, everyday things, such as time and gravity, into my paintings. This experience of painting opened my eyes. It was like cleaning my eyeballs, and in essence, allowing them to see as they do, as if I'd uncovered something that's always been there. If this sounds like a paradox to you, it does to me too. Who knew that painting these orchids, which are falling, turned sideways and sinking, essentially dying slowly, would be so enjoyable yet so highly disturbing and intolerable, plus informative? I sure didn't, until I sure did, and now I sure do. So let's dive into some of the key takeaways from this painting journey. First, the orchids themselves. As I observe a natural unfolding befall them, with that stark yet modest drama of how the petals are softly sitting, resting gently on the sides of the glass, almost floating, I experienced more the sense of them falling slowly as I begin trying to paint their expression doing so. It's like I'm trying to paint the very sensation of falling. You know that feeling when you fall in your sleep and your stomach drops? It's such an odd feeling. That's the kind of subtle, visceral movement I was trying to capture. I started by drawing the flowers in a cluster. I don't usually sketch or anything first, but for this one, I chose to do it really rough on their own layer, then gradually filling in the petals and adding details. This was a departure for me, but it really paid off for the perspective. I did this on its own layer because the perspective is so important that I wanted the ability to see what happens when I try before committing, and then move them around if necessary, which is what I did to bring them to their final resting place. Being that I've never painted an orchid before, it's like the unknown brought me a surprise. Surprise! I can relate to a dying orchid. As a matter of fact, the experience of creating something can at times draw out some things, no pun intended. I often go through a series of emotional episodes in the process, in which I face humiliation and the sense of feeling defeated a lot of times even before I get started. Oh, that would be tragic. It's almost kind of funny because it's happening while I'm doing something as potentially lighthearted as painting. But since I'd prefer making the best use of my experience as possible, including the not-so-best ones, I'm happy and thankful. Because at least it really is a growing experience in that I'm directly facing the challenges and overcoming them, in which they could otherwise remain hidden or dormant. Ooh, that sounds bleak. I guess for me, this type of work can at times be like screaming into a pillow. But hey, better a pillow than a lot of other places, right? Being that these orchids themselves are so bright, it seems ironic, don't you think, that the shadows have naturally gray, slightly dingy hue on them, which reminds me of shading with a number 2 pencil. This took me back to when I was in school drawing on the lined mead paper. I think it was mead. I'll have to Google it. Yep, it was mead. In contrast, I'm sure that if I got up close to the petals, that I'd see all of the shimmering. I did do my best at least to make them bright enough to convey their glow, while remaining true to their natural color, or lack thereof. P.S. Never skimp on the drab. As for the vase and the reflection on the wood, it was intense and a lot of fun. I tried to add as many lights as I could. It was so much fun noticing everything about it that I probably still have specks of those reflections etched into my retinas. It was very bright in there. On that note, let's wrap up this journey with a final thought. This painting of orchids, ostensibly simple, truly opened my eyes to the incredible depth in ordinary things. It led me to this realization. The acknowledgement of each moment. Every experience exists as one of the many moments which make up a life. Each moment of a life is very precious and is being made possible as a celebration of sorts. A celebration that includes the passage of time, the changing of forms and circumstances, each valuable in their own way, playing as part of the whole. Perhaps it can be noted that the wholeness which is present hearing these words is intact, and remains intact regardless of what is seen and experienced, and that what is seen and experienced is simply the expression of what is intact. It is truly an exciting privilege to be alive, whereby in which we each have the opportunity to be grateful and to be true to that gratitude even in the face of life's many challenges. Even when facing what is perhaps the most challenging of experiences, the most obvious and inevitable of experiences in life's progression, which are that of loss and/or death. Life's unavoidable culmination. Even still, what remains intact? Who or what is most capable of bearing it all? It is the heart. What can be will soon not be. Find out who is being. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time.